Hi there. My name is Holly Haynes, and I am a business strategist who helps you build a full-time business on a part-time schedule. And I'm so excited to introduce you to our brand new live CEO Week series right here on the Crush the Rush podcast. So for those of you who are new, CEO Week is my framework for building a successful business while working just 8 hours a week, even with a full-time job. And we've had over 1,000 people already take my original CEO Week challenge, which you can learn more at hollymariehaynes.com/CEO Week. But for the next month, this entire podcast is dedicated to helping you design your dream schedule. So in each episode, I'm going to walk you through 3 key shifts that you can make to turn your dream into a reality, including focusing on what truly you can do to move the needle in your business and bring in more income, attract the right clients through channels that work for you and not just random social media blasts, and prioritize what matters most, whether or not it's work, family, personal time, or all of the above. So the goal is to create a long-term plan that supports your vision and keeps you from burning out so you have the energy to grow and scale your business the way that you've always dreamed. So I can't wait for you to dig in. We're going to talk about how to do it, what to do, all the shifts that you need to make, and provide you with a framework that you can implement right now. CEO Day is all about taking control of your business and what works for you. But I know change can be tough, which is why we created the Crush the Rush Club. It is a supportive community where you can implement CEO Week together. We'll share the struggles, the wins, and hold each other accountable. And right now, you can join the Crush the Rush Club at a special 50% discount. This is your chance to design your dream schedule and build a business that fits your life. So just head on over to hollymariehaynes.com/CEO Week and use the code CEO bonus to join us. Now is the perfect time to prioritize both your business goals and your family goals. And I can't wait for you to join us for this live series. Welcome to our very first ever live CEO Week series right here on the Crush the Rush Pep Talk. If you're new around here, which I hope you are, welcome. We have over 400 episodes of amazing business strategy. But the one thing that comes back over and over and over again is our CEO Week framework, which is basically how I built a 7-figure business model in 8 hours a week while working full time. So yes, we have been in business 4 years now, just about. And 2 of those years I was working full time. So I took this framework and implemented it myself. But then I turned the framework into a 5-day free challenge in 2021, where I teach you and help you create a framework that will work for you. And to date, over 3,000 people have taken it, which is so crazy. So if you haven't taken the original version, head on over to hollymariehaynes.com/CEO Week. But what I want you to also do is keep listening, because the rest of this entire month, this entire podcast, the Friday episodes are dedicated to designing your dream schedule. And I don't know, hopefully if you're watching our new YouTube channel, you can see the excitement in our voice. If you're listening, hopefully you can hear it. But it's really, really special because I've never talked about CEO Week in this way. And we've done it in a way where each week you're going to have very specific things that you can do and implement, and you can share it and tag me. And it's just going to be an epic month. So in each episode, I'm going to walk you through 3 shifts you can make to bring your dream schedule, dream life to life. And then once you make these shifts, you're going to know. So by the end of this series, you're going to know exactly what to work on your business and how to move the needle forward. Again, we have the data to prove it. I'm telling you, listen, and it's going to work. You're actually going to be able to make an impact. And number 2, you're going to be able to attract the right customers through the right channels that make sense for you, right? We talk about that. Instagram is not a business strategy. And number three, you're finally going to be able to have a schedule that you feel good about where you can prioritize what is most important to you, whether it is business, family, life, a mix of all the things. So the goal is that you can create a long-term plan that supports your vision so you aren't burning out at the end of the day and you have the energy to grow and scale the way that you've always dreamed of. So are you excited? You ready? This week, specifically, we're digging into shift number one, which is to find your focus. And so here's what most of us do. If you're driving, if you're listening, be like, yes, Holly, it's like you're in my head. I am. So what most of us do, we set aside time to work, but really never have like that bigger strategy or that bigger picture. Like you're just doing the work and wondering like, well, I've done it for 2 weeks. Like, why am I not seeing results, right? Or you might be in the camp where you have 1,000 projects going on at one time, but you never finish anything. I call this the shiny object syndrome. We all get it, but you're really not giving any of your projects long enough time to be successful. You're so close, right? And then you're like, it's not working. I got to do something else. So you might be like a chronic project starter. Or maybe you're looking externally rather than internally for the next step. So I call this comparisonitis. Most of the time for most of us, it's on social media, but you're like, oh my God, Sally just launched this epic new thing. She did this cool dancing reel, whatever. She did this really amazing course. I need to do this too. Does this happen to you? I know it does for me. So the solution to my first shift, which is my favorite because I have a whole program on it, is stop thinking that you have to work in the weeds every single day. Success is not more hustle. And so what I want you to do is I want you to pick one day, right? You know where I'm going with this. I want you to pick one day where you are strategically looking at high level. You are not in the weeds. You are dreaming, you are planning, and sometimes you're even focusing on yourself. Imagine what that would feel like every single week. So you have heard people talk about CEO Day, but my question is, are you doing it? So what does your CEO day look like? I want you to listen to this podcast. I want you to tag me on Instagram stories, and I want you to tell me, what does your CEO day look like? And the trick is that it's your day, it's your way. It could be an hour. It can be a half hour. It can be a whole freaking day. Whatever you want, do it your way. Again, we're not looking at comparisonitis. We're not looking at what other people are doing. We're looking at what makes the most sense for us. So, Holly, what does this really mean? Okay, I'm going to walk you through it. Number one, use this space, use your CEO day, your CEO hour to create a list of tasks that you can do ahead of time for the week to prepare yourself for the week. So if you have an hour on Monday, what can you do to prepare for the week? It immediately gets rid of the Sunday scaries and you feel good about what's coming. So examples include podcast pitches, creating graphics, Pinterest pinning, contracts. These are tasks that are not time sensitive, but you're just like getting things out of the way so that you can focus on the needle moving activities later on the week. You can also think about like, what can you eliminate when you look at your schedule? What can you get rid of? What do you not need to be doing? What can you delegate to your team? What can you work ahead of time on, right? What can you outsource? So I want you to use this time, this hour, this 2 hours, this day, right? Whatever it looks like for you, to reflect on the week and work on the projects that you are going to be focusing on. And remember that CEO days are meant to be yours to prioritize. So it's meant to be yours to figure out like, what is the most important? What is the most important thing that I need to do this week to move the needle in my business? That's what you should be doing. So if you do get the Sunday scaries, I promise you this will instantly fix it. So personally, I do my CEO days on Monday. I spend about 30 minutes planning on Sunday, which we just did a podcast episode on. And then on Monday, it's like get it done day. Most of the time, I am catching up behind the scenes. I'm looking at like what we're doing financially. I'm looking at data. I'm looking at the projects that we have coming up. And I am actually being the CEO of my business. I am not worried about all the little projects that I have to work on later this week. I'm just looking at the bigger picture. And so you have to slow down to go fast, right? Slowing down is the new hustle. A couple of other things, if you're listening, that you can focus on is like, give yourself some white space. Maybe it's just 1 hour where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to think. I'm just going to brainstorm. I'm just going to think. And that is stepping into that CEO role. It might be, again, working ahead on tasks. So the remaining 4 days are on autopilot. I mentioned brainstorming. Go outside, sit on your patio, brainstorm what your dream business would look at. Maybe it's catching up. Maybe it's planning. And last but not least, it's checking in. What is your accountability for actually getting the things done that you want to get done this week? Check in with your coach, check in with your community. Use your CEO day to hold yourself accountable as the CEO of your business. I always use in my personal trainings when I teach in our community, Reese Witherspoon as an example, because I love her. She also has like 17 streams of income, right? And when you look at her and you think about like, well, what would Reese be doing right now? She's probably not like writing 17 emails. I mean, maybe she does. I don't know. But my guess is she's dreaming like, what movie am I going to do next? What book club book should I pick? What's the next investment that I should do? So I want you to think about like, what is your CEO move of the week? When you are strategic about your business, you can actually grow faster in less time. And what I typically hear is, hey, I have a CEO day. It's on my calendar, but I end up just like writing content or I end up doing something else, which is okay. You can use it as a catch-up time, but you also need that time to make sure that you are looking at your business from a strategic lens, right? Like, what does that look like? So a couple of sort of tips that you can think about when you're looking at your business from a strategic lens is 4 categories. Number 1, what are you currently doing to attract and engage new potential clients to build relationships? It's a super simple question. Doesn't mean that you have to spend the time on this specific day doing it, but think about it. What is your client attraction plan? You should have one. Number 2, what are you selling? You should know what you're selling this month and next month and even for the next quarter. Doesn't mean that you're putting together the sales plan. It means that you're thinking about it. What are you selling? Number 3, what are your relationships like, right? I always say if your business feels slow, increase your relationships. So how are you focused on your current clients? What are you doing to serve them better? What are you doing to foster new relationships? How are you getting out in the community, right? This one kind of goes with attract and engage, but you should have a plan. And again, your CEO day does not mean that you're putting together the plan, but it means that you have a plan for nurturing your relationships. And then last but not least, what is your capacity? How are you continuing to create space to grow? Do you look at your to-do list and are like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I don't know when it's going to fit. And then you just move on? Or do you actually create the space to do it? So in this space, I see a lot of people throw like, oh, it's my CEO day out the window. And then they go get a massage, which is great. I hope that you do that. But I also hope that you take the time to answer questions, right? Look at your data, look at your statistics, step into that CEO day role and dedicate at least 1 hour a week for you to be in that CEO role for your business. And by implementing a dedicated CEO day for strategic planning, you can really escape, I don't know, I'll call it like the hustle trap, right? And so hey, because I spent some time to slow down, these are the things that are going to move the needle. And this is what I have to come up with. Like, this is the work that I have to do for the rest of the week. So imagine waking up on Monday with a clear plan, knowing exactly what you need to work on to move the needle in your business, all while prioritizing family time and personal time, because that's the power of CEO week, which is what we're going to talk about in the next couple episodes. But your CEO day, the actual day where you're stepping into your CEO role, is the first step in CEO week. So in this live series, I really want you to focus on carving out the time for your CEO day as your first piece of homework, because this focus is actually going to help you with faster growth. So again, let's carve out some time for your CEO day. Let's think about what it actually means. Let's do the work. Let's think about what is our client attraction plan? What are we selling? How are we nurturing relationships? What does our capacity look like? And how are we doing that every single week? We're looking at that as a business every single week. That is your business model. But I know that implementing a new framework can be daunting. And I know a lot of you skip the CEO day, or maybe just go get the massage, which is great. You should totally do that, but you need to do both. And that's honestly why I created the Crush the Rush Club. So all month long, we're going to be highlighting our amazing community. It's a supportive community where we don't just talk about CEO week, but we actually do the thing together. We share the struggles, the wins, and we hold each other accountable Plus, you get access to me and my team, and we answer your questions live every step of the way. So right now, in this season, you can join the Crush the Rush Club at a special 50% discount just for listening to this podcast. So this is your chance to finally design the dream schedule and build a business that fits your life and not the other way around. So you just need to head on over to hollymurrayhaynes.com/club and use the code CEO bonus, because it's the perfect season to prioritize both, to prioritize your CEO goals and your family goals. And I can't wait to see you inside. Again, your homework for part 1 is to dedicate a very specific CEO day on your calendar as part of your CEO week. And then to make sure to pop back for next week for part 2 of our CEO week live series.